Some nights don't break you. They teach you how to breathe again. This one's for those nights. I walk them roads where the street lights flicker. Heart beats slow, but the thoughts came quicker. Cold night air cutting straight through my chest, but somehow that chill felt better than the rest. I've been running from myself, from the noise in my head, from the weight of old words that I never quite said. But the dark don't lie, it just shows what's real. And that night I learned how a broken man heals. These were the nights I learned to breathe when the world felt tight and I couldn't leave, but the moonlight whispered, "Son, just ease." Yeah, these were the nights I learned to breathe. Boots on gravel, echoing the lane. Every step I took shook off a bit of pain. Country wind blowing like it knew my name, telling me I weren't weak, I was just in the flame. I've been holding my breath for far too long, trying to look tough, trying to act strong. The strength ain't silence, it's choosing to feel. And that night I learned how a tired man heals. These were the nights I learned to breathe when the world felt tight and I couldn't leave, but the moonlight whispered, "Son, just ease." Yeah, these were the nights I learned to breathe. There's a rhythm in the dark when you're walking alone, a beat in your chest that becomes your own. No crowd, no noise, no pressure to please, just the truth in the wind and the bend of the trees. I found a little peace in the cracks of the night, a little bit of hope in the absence of light. And the breath I took then was deep, it was real. That's the breath that taught me a man can heal. These were the nights I learned to breathe when the world felt tight and I couldn't leave, but the moonlight whispered, "Son, just ease." Yeah, these were the nights I learned to breathe. Now when life gets loud and the pressure gets thick, I remember that night and the way it clicked. How the quiet held me like an old friend's hand, how the dark gave space for a man to stand. I ain't scared of the shadows, they taught me well, taught me how to rise when I tripped and fell. And every breath I take now carries that feel, the nights to show me how a strong man heals. These were the nights I learned to breathe when the world felt tight and I couldn't leave, but the moonlight whispered, "Son, just ease." Yeah, these were the nights I learned to breathe. These were the nights I learned to breathe, and I hold that truth like a secret key. When the world gets heavy, I still believe in the nights I learned to breathe.